Hello, everyone. We are live. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're coming from. My name is Sheila Mushanas. I'm coming to you live from Toronto, Canada. And today is a special day. I have a special guest, inspiring individual, Cris and Joam, and a power couple. They have achieved tremendous success in this online business. And I want to share some of their journeys, successes, and even challenges so that you all know whoever watching our and trying to figure out what's this online business. You're seeing me most of the time online almost every day, and maybe you're wondering what am I doing. By the way, again, I want to introduce myself for those who are new, just coming into my page. My name is Sheila Mushanas, coming to you live from Toronto, Canada. I am a telecommunications engineer by profession, but I'm very proud digital business owner. And tonight, as I mentioned, special guest, Cris and Joam. Without further ado, I just want to introduce them. These are very power couple in our business community, and I've met them since I joined this business, and I'm watching them, and they inspire me so much. I met them in person twice now during our business convention, and they always adapt me whenever I'm alone. That's why I'm so happy that they're here. I'm so excited. So, without further ado, I want you to introduce yourself, say something, introduce yourself so that all my audience will be, listening to you now.
Hey everyone, magandang gabi. This is about 7 o'clock in the evening here in Daytona Beach, Florida. So originally we are from the Philippines. We are actually Bisaya. We graduated college in Cebu, but we are from Mindanao. And we've been here in the United States for almost 20 years now, about 19 years to be exact. And I've been practicing as a physical therapist. I did a lot of practice in the nursing home, outpatient, and now I'm merely doing home health physical therapy. So what that means, I go to different houses and see my patient there. And then I've been a digital business owner for about 4.5 years now. And then I think that's one of the question: how did I become a business owner? So I'm gonna
Yeah,
reserve that
we're gonna get
information.
there.
And yes, that's all for me. Yeah.
Yeah, hi everyone. First things first, we would like to say thank you, Sheila, for this opportunity coming up here in your platform, sharing our journey, sharing our story, and we hope that we can inspire somebody out there looking for something that can change their lives. It's not like it's a divine that you come up here and watch this and hope that we can inspire you. My name is Joam with an M. I'm Kristen's wife, of course. So I used to work, by the way, as a billing specialist for over 5 years, and short lang because of this business. I was able to quit my job already, and then I'm doing this full time, helping Cris. And life has been amazing. It blesses us in so many ways, and we're gonna get to that later.
Thank you so much. As I said, I'm so excited with this inspiring guest that I have tonight. So, I have just a couple of questions, but you could really, really elaborate on all the things that you wanted to share because that will help a lot of people who are watching right now because they may be curious about what is this all about, everything, so on and so forth. So, my first question actually is this: what inspired you to become a business owner? Can you describe your early journey? We all are curious, especially me.
All right. I think everyone is very much aware that during January 2020, that's the height of the pandemic. A lot of people lost their jobs. In my company alone, three of my colleagues got laid off. And I mentioned earlier, I'm a physical therapist. And that time, there were only a few patients because most of our patients were very afraid for us to see them at home because they're afraid to get the COVID, right?
Yes.
So our company actually laid them off. So three of them lost their jobs. And that was a turning point for me
Mm-hmm.
because at the beginning, I thought that when you are in the medical field, like nurses or physical therapists, that your job is secure, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're okay financially, but I realized that anything can happen. So when three of my colleagues lost their jobs, that one I decided that I really have to start my own business. Because if you are the owner of your business, nobody can fire you, right?
So true.
And at that time, I also realized that everything was going towards the online space, right? Because of the pandemic, a lot of people were selling products online. You know,
Mhm.
even the school, they're doing it online. You know, so that's when I realized that maybe online space is the way to go. So I was browsing through the social media, and then I found this post from somebody that I know, right? And then I got interested, and then actually I messaged her on Facebook, and then that's when she introduced the business to me, right? And then before the challenges, maybe I'll let my wife talk first. You know why she decided to.
Why she joined? And did she join immediately? What's the story behind that? Because couple sometimes it's hard, you know. Some one of the couple is okay, the other one is not. So let's hear from Joanne. What happened?
So it's always a challenge because if
Mhm.
one person is so interested with something, sometimes it's becomes automatic that the other person will be like a little skeptical, right? But I was skeptical in a good way because my
Mm.
mindset at that time was like, I just want to make sure that you want that sense of security when you do something, especially when it involves investing. um,
Mhm.
you put money out there. You want to make it sure that it's all legitimate. The businesses have been have like a solid ground already, or
Yeah.
good foundation. And when I realized that, like learning about all the companies that were involved, all the products that were producing are really really quality products. So I said, maybe it's hard now. The challenge has become like, for me, it's like, maybe it's hard because we've never experienced how to do it online. We
Mhm. Mhm.
go do go lives, or I never
Oh,
realized
no, we're experts.
that how to use the online in a way the business needs to do it. Like in our,
Mhm.
like, we are like average people that don't know
Mhm.
about business, really how to do it online. But learning about it, I was so just amazed, like,
Yeah.
especially when Chris started showing me his results, and that was like the turning point for me. Because one day he was just like, oh, look at this, $1,000 for just one day. I said, wow. And he
Yeah.
said, like, wow. I said, okay, let me look at your business and really, like, I wanna be there. Because he got so excited, like every day in and day out. Like, he works from full time at that time. He comes home at 6 or 7, and after eating dinner, he will just go dive in directly and just do his own research, do his trainings up to midnight, you
Wow.
know and I was just maybe partly jealous because he's so passionate about it. He wanted to succeed, and like, I'm not gonna be part of that. I'll be like, okay, let me just join you. So here we are,
Yeah.
Well,
doing it together.
that's so true. Actually, when you are really into it, the people around you really it rubs on them. You know, that's why, as we all do, even us, we wanted to be always energetic because if you want to attract people that you are so passionate about something, even at home, simple thing, you want to do something and you want your husband to do it too. You just have to show them you really like it, you really love it, this is my passion, then he's gonna follow. That's it. Actually, in a way, I can relate to that, and also I can relate with you, Chris, when you mentioned about laying off. Actually, the reason why I'm here in this online world is I was also laid off as working 16 years as an engineer in a big one of the biggest company here in Canada. Without any warning, I was laid off, and that's it. It's over. You're thinking, where am I going to get all the money when I don't have a backup plan? So ever since that time, I made sure that I have a business. I search and search until I found this. Actually, was able to get back to my work, but as a consultant again, I did a business. But I said, one stream of income, that's not enough. You got to have a backup. So this is the reason why I'm also here. Even though
Right.
I'm working full time, I have this backup, and it's also fun for me because I'm meeting a lot of people around the world.
Right.
So yeah, we are, and yeah, as I'm glad you hop in immediately, not waited for that long, because I've heard a lot of stories about a skeptical couple, wife or husband. It's kind of tough. Although
Yes.
if you really want it, and the one person really gonna go for it, eventually the other one will follow, because you will see the result. That's the most important thing. When you see the result, everything is happening, going strong, you gotta do it. So
Yeah, and I want to add as well, before I
sure.
forget, because this is one of the concerns. Like, I want to share my early journey. In the beginning, Joam shared that she wasn't very supportive of my business, right? And it's so hard when, at that time, I had like 3 or 4 part-time jobs. Actually, she mentioned, after coming home at work, I would still continue to do documentation at night, like, because we need to submit our paperwork for the patient that we saw that day, so it can be submitted to the insurance for payment. Sometimes I would finish my documentation at 11 in the evening, and then if I have like 30 minutes or an hour left, and that's when I would spend that for the remaining of the evening for my training for the business. And also, initially, I actually started with approaching, my friends and people that I knew to start a business,
Mhm,
and it was a mix of like yes and no, but mostly no, right?
mhm.
So because friends mostly, or even family members, they tend to be very skeptical. They would say that, oh, you do that first, and then when you're successful, then I'll follow suit, right? So I did get a lot of rejections, right? I did a lot of no's, but I know that actually two things that I love about the business is that one is, we don't have to bug our friends, right? Because this is one of the major reasons why I love the business, because we have this actually automated online system. So what
Yeah.
that means, two things for that I love the most. One is because of the automated online system, we don't have to bug our friends, right? I may have practice to my friends like with the first couple of months, but after that, I know that with the automated online system that I can be very successful in business. And I can tell you guys, if you're watching this,
That's
about 90%, 95% of our clients and business partners from all around the world are actually total strangers, because I don't like reaching always to my friends and colleagues, hey, are you interested in doing this business? I would rather want people to come and approach me, like Chris
ask
and
for it.
yeah,
Ask for
that's the
it.
best person to talk about, right? So I love that better, and that's because of the automated online system. The second one is because of the system, we don't have to be selling our products. I don't know if you guys, if you're following Sheila, if you have a chance, you can also look on our personal pages and even business pages. You cannot see anything about the products. You
Yeah.
cannot see anything about the company. You know why? Because we don't have to do that.
Mhm.
I don't like posting different products on Facebook and then telling my friends to buy that product if I can use an automated online system. So that's one thing that I love the most in this business. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just a second, on the second thing, with Chris, what he said, when you have systems in place, it's so easy when it's automated, because wherever you go, whatever you do, you know, like we talked earlier, Sheila, it's easy to duplicate, right? It's unlike with any traditional business.
Mhm.
My mom used to own a pizza business before, but she needs to work and be there almost like 24/7. She would have a hard time leaving that business on its own, because she needs to manage people. So if you cannot duplicate your business, you need to be there. You need to
Yeah.
be like watch it like a hawk, and see it.
Yeah, it is hard. Yeah. Even like I was saying earlier, as we talked earlier about doctors, maybe doctors, they have to do the thing. They can't duplicate themselves, they clone themselves eventually, maybe when the cloning is really there. But you can't. So you still have to do the job. Whereas in this business, you duplicate, and that's the secret of it. That's why you scale really big. So you've already mentioned about a little bit of a challenge, but still, I wanted to ask my second question actually is, although you mentioned a little bit, you might have some more challenges that you encountered in this business, and what advice would you offer other facing similar challenge besides that, bugging your friends. Besides the bugging, because we don't like that too. And it's solved by our automation, so it's already solved. Yeah.
Okay. So when I started, I thought that I could not do the business because I was so very busy with my job, right? I mentioned I have a full-time job and I have three or four part-time jobs. I thought that I have no time for business at all.
Yeah.
And then when I started this business, I realized that this is actually designed for busy people like us, right?
So true.
Because if you only have 30 minutes to an hour a day, you can actually run this business globally. Okay. And then another thing also is that, one of the most common things that we usually hear from our business owners is that, you know, it'll be a challenge for me because I have no technical background. I don't know computers. I have no background in the business. But the good thing about that is that we have this step by step training.
So true.
We have this coaching. We have this mentoring. So even if you don't know anything about the business, you can do this. And another thing also, some people may say, because in the beginning, I'm not a very social media person. I would probably post pictures on my social media, but I wouldn't do like go live, something like this and pick a topic
Or
and
make
talk.
fun.
Yes, on talk freely in social media. I'm not about that.
Or
But
dancing.
yes,
Or the funny stuff that you do.
doing for real and all that. That's one of the challenges. But then, I realized that when people hear your voice, they would hear that you're sincere, that you are a real person. So that's when I decided, oh, okay, maybe I need to get out of my comfort zone, right? Because imagine, even if you are not very good in talking, even if you can only speak in your dialect, that's good. Even if you're otal-otal, you're not speaking straight. If somebody can see you, they'll get inspired, and
Yeah.
that's the same thing.
It,
Yes.
in short, you don't need to be very good at or very like the
Fluent on anything, no, as long as you can express yourself, and you have your own way, you have your own brand, you have your own character, you could be
Right.
wild, you can be funny, but people will love you, will find your tribe.
you
Some
don't
people
need to be
will.
the smartest, you know.
Yeah, you don't have to be the smartest. That's so true.
Yes.
That's so true.
And I would add also in the beginning when we were doing advertising, we were so like perfectionists, right? We thought, oh, we have to make sure that our grammar is correct. We have to make sure that we're saying the things perfectly, that it's all correct. We're speaking in English, and then all our ads in English. But we were not able to relate to that to the majority of our clients because they would think, oh, I cannot talk straight English like him, or I'm not so
And you cannot express the feeling, it's difficult.
right, right. So that's one of the challenge. Then we decided one day, hey, what about let's be true here? What about let's show our true selves? So that's why one day we decided, well, speak in our dialect. Right? We went to the park and then just talk our heart out. And then in our dialect, it's so easy because we're expressing ourselves freely. And because of that advertising, a lot of people are able to relate, and that gave us a lot of buyers and business
Yeah,
partners.
because they feel the sincerity of what you're talking about. You have the feeling, yeah. Because sometimes even if you write it down in English, you translate it the way you want, you cannot express it. This is not your first language. You don't get the feeling of saying that those emotions. Whereas your dialect, this is so true. So anybody can do this. I'm telling you. And for those who are watching you, I'm telling you, even if you said you're not. I can't talk in English. No, you don't have to. If you're comfortable with your dialect, you use your dialect. I think that's where you grow. I think your business grow because of your ads, because of your using your dialect, isn't it? It's amazing, amazing.
That was my also my partly I was having a hard time in the beginning because we have those self-imposed limiting belief that we
That's
think that we can't do it, or we think that we're so negative because we are always surrounded with negativities, right? So that is one of the hardest for me that I have struggled for months, and I have really worked on that, like constantly, like started shifting my mindset to really challenge it. You challenge it, like, no, that's not the right. No, you're wrong. No, this is the, you have to train it.
so.
And
So how did you fix that? I mean, how did you the method? Do you do some kind of exercises or
yes,
what
yes.
reading or
I listen to anything podcast that is like like really talking about like anything about like from setbacks and then changing into what makes you be better as a person, like how you can, like those negative emotions that you're dealing with, so
Mhm.
how do you resolve that? So anything, something about why, like going into inner self and then realizing that, hey, you're feeling negatives, it's because of other things that is limiting you, that you're only thinking about why you can't do that. It's because sometimes we say it to ourselves, right, a lot
And
of
then
times.
that's the end of it. Once you said it, once you say it, that's why I keep on telling my daughter, my husband, don't say it because it's like you're believing that that's
Yeah.
really it's. You have to say it differently, like that positive way, or don't even say that you can. I can.
No and not and can't. Sometimes
Yeah.
I have to pay attention about that for myself, because I think I can't do that.
No, once you said it, it's like the end. So
That
that's why.
I
Yeah.
can do that. And then wait a minute, not yet. I catch myself and change it to no, not yet.
Not yet. That's
Not yet.
successful.
When
That's
I say it not yet, it feels like you're capable of, but not there
not
yet.
now. Yeah, but you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. That's it.
So when
That's.
I feel, and it feels good. It
Mhm.
feels good. And when you feel good, you attract. When you feel good deep down inside. So I guess that's the mindset. It took me like 6 months, really.
Yeah. Mindset is really crazy. Eh? That's what we work on sometimes. Yeah.
Yes. And also, I would like to add, because we're talking
Mm.
about advices here. You
Yeah.
know, I've been actually, when I started the business, I've been using this. You've heard about the law of attraction, right?
Yes.
This is, I think, one of the things that I want to share, like good advice as well. Three things. One is, what you think you will become. So if you are thinking that, you can do that, no matter how impossible it is, if you think that you can do it, because that's how powerful our mind is.
Mm-hmm.
In the business, I've always think I'm gonna be successful no matter what. I'm gonna succeed no matter what, and then I'm successful in the business, right? The other one is what you will feel, you will attract. So every day when you are starting any kind of business, make sure that you are feeling good, right? You have that good vibration, because when you always feel good, you will attract positive things. You will attract good things. When you're feeling, oh, I'm lazy today and I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
nothing will come out, nothing good will come out of that.
I know. I can
Remember
imagine.
that what you feel, you will attract. Another one is what you will imagine, you will create, right? A
Mm-hmm.
lot of parents now, they have a hard time with their family, because especially a lot of couples are working 6 or 7 days a week. They have 3 or 4 jobs, and they have a hard time of finding that life balance, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So imagine a life having time freedom and financial freedom. Imagine that, and then when you imagine that,
Feel
you
it. You have
yeah,
to feel it.
and then you'll create it. Yeah,
Mhm.
one thing that you can create is by venturing to a business, because if you're just an employee, nothing will
Mm.
change, right? But when you become a business owner, like Sheila and us, there's really great possibilities. And guys, if you're watching the replay, please reach out to Sheila, because this is really a life-changing opportunity. So I
Yes.
will summarize what you think, you will attract.
Mm-hmm.
What you feel, you will what you think, you will create, right?
Feel great.
Yes. And then, oh, wait a
What
minute.
you
You
feel, you
Well,
imagine.
what you will feel,
you will
you
attract.
will attract. And what you will imagine, you will create. Yes.
Okay. That's so true. That's so true. That's so true. I've read that all. And actually, that's what I'm trying to do now because we wanted to be successful and we are successful. That's how it is.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your advice. And you know what? Let's get into a little bit of a lighter, not lighter note, but we have, I know we even earlier when we're talking, we talk about what we like about this business. There's so many things, there's so many things that this business gave us or made our life or whatever better us. So I want you to talk about the most or the ones that you love about this business. Maybe you can do one or two, not just one, too hard because there's so many, but you could just talk about what do you really love about this business.
Yeah, for me, number one is like is the uh, I have two things lang. Although I have a lot, but I'm gonna break it down to two things. But my favorite one is the flexibility,
Mhm.
because you cannot do any business. It's so hard to start a business when you're constantly there, that you need your time, like physically, and you
Mm.
know, like doing it on your own. It's so hard. uh, uh, we love to travel a lot, and so I love that we, even if we have challenges in the business and we are traveling, we act like, and we can handle it, we can um, send business deals when when we were in Europe. So even if we're sleeping, we get buyers. So I love that, and the second one was like the support of the community, and then the training is just amazing, that I cannot, I cannot get, I think we cannot get it from anywhere.
Yeah, that's so true. I agree. I agree. The training in our community, it's amazing. The support, the
Yeah.
community, everything. Yeah, we support each other cross line. No matter we don't financially connected, each other support. We support each other.
Because the learnings that we're learning from our training, it's like going to a top university. Imagine that, and that you don't have to pay for that.
Can you imagine all the cost of those if you wanted to learn all those and having a mentor and a
Yeah.
coach? Oh my goodness. I've been reading a lot of people, I mean, books. The people who are so successful now, they have coaches and they pay so much money in the coach. We have our coach, lifetime coach and mentor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's for me. It's the two things for me.
Okay. I have those in mind, so I'm just gonna be sharing two things differently.
Yes.
So I think one thing that I love is the tax benefit of the
Oh,
business,
yes.
because working as a physical therapist, if you guys know a lot of physical therapy, we're making good money in our
Mhm.
profession, and because of that, we're making good money. So every year we tend to pay taxes.
Mhm.
Um, Average, I would be paying without the business, I would be paying like maybe 3,000 or 5,000
Mhm.
US dollars every year, right?
Mhm.
And then when I started the business, I had a lot of
Refund.
refunds. Yes, all the same. Instead of paying 3,000
You're
or 5,000
getting.
back to Uncle Sam,
Mhm.
saying that I'm getting that as as a tax refund. So that's one thing, because when you are a business owner, there's so many things that you can write off, right? So you're enjoying your money, right?
Mhm.
So you're enjoying life, and you don't have to pay big taxes at the end of the year because you're doing a business, and that's very legal, right? And the other one is the retirement benefit. I don't
Oh,
know in Canada how much is the average retirement or the pension, but here in the US it's about maybe 1,000 or maybe 1,500.
same,
Yeah.
same. From the
So
government, unless you have a private company that you have a pension,
right,
then you're a
right,
little bit luckier. But from the government,
right.
you have to
So
pay.
imagine, yes, imagine retiring with just 1,500 or $1,000 from the government. So that's really not enough. And I mentioned this, and that is one reason why a lot of elderlies, 70 or 80, they are still working because they
Yeah.
cannot retire, right? You know what I love about about this business? Let's say you're working hard in the next 5 to 10 years instead of working in the next 45 years with your job, right? In this business, possibly in the next 5 to 10 years, you will come to a point that you will receive a minimum of $5,000
Wow. Yeah.
monthly bonus for life, and that's just the minimum. That's just the minimum. A lot of people in our community,
Have
who,
achieved that.
yes, they
Wow.
have been doing the business for about 5 years, 6 years, or even 7 years. Some of them are earning $45,000 monthly bonuses, not including the commissions that they get from direct sales and indirect sales.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes they don't believe. They said it's unbelievable, but you just have to be part of the community to see this, to really see the real thing
Right,
that's happening. Yeah.
right, right.
It's unbelievable until
It's
it's
unbelievable if you're because it's really, but it's amazing. But you know what? It's there, and as you said, that's the one thing that I really love about this too. I've worked so long too, and if I calculate all the pension I'm gonna get better in this when if I work here in another 10 years than
Right.
the long time that I worked before in my company. So
Yes.
that's it. Yeah. Yeah, that was amazing. But you know what? Thank you for very much for the sharing. But before we wrap up, I want to ask you about the last word or the advice, because we have some people here watching. I guess especially the people who are following me now and they've been seeing me for a while now talking about the business. Maybe they were thinking, oh, what is that business really? But what advice can you give those people who are contemplating whether or not this is for them or not, or is it worth looking at or what? Yeah.
Well, I can say that, if you're skeptical, but I want to tell you that so many people from different walks of life are doing this business. It doesn't matter if you're just a stay-home mom, you're a lawyer, you're a
Doctor.
nurse or a doctor, I
Engineer.
need you to check this out because, life is so short to be a skeptic, to be not believing in the good stuff that could possibly change your life. I would really encourage you to check this out because the first thing that you need to do is you need to reach out to Sheila, and or you can directly go to her website and then register your name and email address. So once you do that, you are going to be receiving information about the 90-minute workshop on how to start a very successful online business. And then once you're done watching the workshop, you will be directed to do the next step, which is to register. Once you register, you'll
Mhm.
be added to the community, and there inside the community, you will see real people with real results from all around the world. And I'm pretty sure that once you are in the inside, you'll never go back because you'll be inspired. You want the same life that they are enjoying right now. And you guys, if you're watching this, check it out.
Yep.
Thank you so much. What about you, Joam?
Coming from a very
Advice?
skeptical wife before he started this business. So even if when you're skeptical, just go ahead. Just make maybe it's a good challenge for you to really check it out. So the more skeptical you are, the more you have to really check it out, just for you know how to, just for you to have no regrets in the end. Because when you're skeptical and you're not doing anything about it, and you just like putting it at the back of your mind, and then you're just assuming of the things without you really personally checking it out, you'll have a regret. So it's better when you're skeptical, just check it out anyway and just do it your own due diligence and just see it if this is something that you want to do also. So that's it.
Thank you so much, both of you. Great advice, inspiring stories and journey. And I'm really glad you've spared some time for me to share your journey and all the success that you've experienced in this business. And for those who are watching, thank you so much for spending your time with us. And for those who will watch in the replay, like amazing advice from this couple. These are my inspiration in this business. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you again tomorrow or next week for my next interview for another guest. Thank you so much for listening. Bye for now.
Thank
Take
you.
care,
Bye.
everybody.